Hi, my name is Jocelyn, and I'm going to be studying forensic examination in college next fall. I'm extremely interested in forensic science and the investigative and scientific strategies that are involved in criminal investigations, so I want to teach you all a little bit about lividity. Lividity is also known as post-mortem hypostasis, as the reddish-purple splotches and patches the body develops after death. This is part of a post-mortem stage called livor mortis. Livor mortis occurs from 30 minutes to 12 hours after death and is the act of blood pooling in the body due to the cessation of the heart beating. The body is no longer circulating blood, so it stagnates and pools. Gravity pulls in the blood to the lowest places of the body, so if somebody died lying on their back, the reddish-purple pooling would appear on their back. That is, if the body is not moved first. Around the 12-hour mark after death, the lividity becomes fixed, meaning the blood pooling will remain in whatever part of the body it was in at that time mark. This is due to blood coagulation or clotting, so it becomes thick and doesn't flow through the body anymore. So if someone died on their back but was moved to their stomach at any point before the 12-hour mark, the blood would pool on the front of the body. At around 6 to 8 hours, something called blanching is at its peak. That is a stage in which if you were to prod the area of blood pooling, it would turn white briefly, kind of like when you touch a sunburn. The blanching is the reason the reddish-purple splotches won't develop on the exact points that the body is making contact with the ground or whatever it's lying on. If there's a constant pressure on the area, it will remain white, and the areas where the body is in indirect contact with anything will contain the pooling coloration. This also applies if the person was wearing very tight clothing. You will be able to see the outline of said clothing in the white blanched spots. This fact helps investigators tremendously, as they can see exactly what parts of the body were in contact with its surroundings. The timeline of livor mortis is a major factor in helping investigators determine time of death. They can discover when a person died based on the development or stage of their lividity. It can also help them determine if any foul play is involved. For example, Marilyn Monroe was said to have died on her back, but her lividity was pulled to the front, indicating that someone moved her within the first 12 hours of her death. Another factor of lividity is that can be helpful to investigators is the color of the blood pooling. If the person was exposed to different toxins, their lividity will be different colors. If someone had carbon monoxide poisoning, the lividity would be cherry red, although the lividity could also appear pink or cherry red if the body was refrigerated within the first 12 hours after death. This is due to oxygen retention in the blood cells. If the person had hydrogen sulfide poisoning, the blood would be green. If they had cyanide poisoning, it would be pink. If they had nitrate poisoning, it would be brown. This topic seems morbid, but when you look at it from a purely investigative and scientific perspective, it is just interesting how the body works and how everything can be used to solve a crime or find out how or when someone died. I hope you enjoyed this little lesson in forensic science. Here are my sources.